bad. Teen who shared photo of packed high school hallways says she's receiving threats. So did you see this?
What?
So obviously it's back to school, you know, coronavirus, even though it's fake, we got to listen to the rules. No, I'm just kidding. It's not fake. Or am I? So this girl posted a photo. It went viral. She shared it on like Twitter or Snapchats or TikToks, whatever the kids are using these days. She posted this photo of all the kids in school, like how it's like back to school. Like there's a huge controversy because it's like, oh, we don't want to open the schools, and like, you know, my God, coronavirus, we're all gonna die. And then, you know, it's like it literally it's getting like political, you know, like I said, the rednecks fighting on Facebook and Karens and shit.
Yeah.
She posted a photo of like, oh my God, this is how it is in school. Let's see if she shows the photo, and we'll react to the video.
Posting this was good and necessary trouble in homage to Congressman John Lewis. You were punished for calling attention to this. You were suspended, and then the principal, as I understand it, reversed that decision.
So this,
School officials, as you heard from Natasha there,
I can't pause it. So
Suspended?
Yeah, so she was suspended because, so this is the photo, and the photo is just showing how all the kids are like fucking packed together. Obviously, there's no social distancing, which is, it's like fucking impossible for like kids. None of the kids are wearing masks, or like most of them.
They're wearing masks.
Yeah, it's like finding Waldo. Like there's one kid with a mask. There's another one here, but most of these kids, like
you think they're not wearing masks?
Well, she posted another. I saw another photo where the kids were facing this way, and like most of them did not have masks. Like it was not like a thing. And two, like when you go, it's like hard to enforce the whole mask shit. Like I get kind of pissed off because I go to like Walmart, it's like you can't get in without a mask, and when you get in there, like people have it like below their nose like this, or like they don't even wear it right. Yeah. I got fucking super pissed because I went to this new pier near us, and
the same pier.
Yeah, it was pretty packed, and I went inside this little deli thing where it was like an inside space, and there was a drunk guy, like he was like having beers and shit and had a bandana, and he pulled down his bandana and started breathing like playing around, like, oh my God, I can't breathe, and like started like looking at me and laughing, like trying to like be funny how he can't breathe. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't laughing. I'm like, dude, like you're in front of my pregnant wife, and we're all like, do you see we're wearing this shit for a reason, and you're breathing your hot fucking sweaty breath on my wife?
You said that?
I didn't say anything, but I was just like, I was kind of giving him like a look, like back the fuck
married?
up. I'm married. Yes, we talked about it before. And a guy said he was disappointed I was married. So yeah, like it does piss me off too. Like certain areas where you have the mask, some people don't even wear it right. So
I'll tell you a story like that happened to me yesterday. I was at Walmart picking up some chicken and asparagus for my dinner because I'm healthy, yo. And I was in the self-checkout line, right? I'm doing all my stuff. There's this dude who comes up. He has his mask off, and he literally has a handful of stuff like this, totally understandable, drops it on the conveyor belt, like, but the conveyor belts of the self-checkout are like this big.
Yeah.
So he's literally standing right next to me while I'm like checking out.
Right.
But like right next to me, like me and you close.
Yeah, and he didn't have a mask.
He took his mask off, and he's just like sort of like in a dazed and confused look. And I literally like look at him, and I was like, and he was like, and backed up. But I was like,
oh, so he got the point?
Yeah.
Usually people don't get it because I've been in that situation too, where you're supposed to be like 6 feet apart.
Yeah.
And then I inch forward, and they start coming closer, and yeah, it's annoying as fuck. Some people just don't care.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, it was like a good stare. Like I looked at him, it was like
back the fuck up.
Yeah, and he was like, I had my scary mask on, you know, the one that you
look like a gangbanger.
And he was like, and backed up. But I was like, dude, I don't care if you put your stuff down, just like
back up. Yeah, like you can.
Even when there's not a pandemic, don't get that close. Like,
yeah,
it was like very strange.
Yeah, I don't like people that close to me.
Yeah, it's like, what's the difference between you standing next to me and standing over there? Like, you're gonna be next. Trust me.
Right,
no one's gonna run in and cut in front of you.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is annoying.
It's just like a courtesy thing. Like, dude, I don't know you.
Right.
Back up.
Back up.
Oh yeah. But cool. But let's get back to this.
They were still defending reopening, but we won't even know if the school's going to reopen Wednesday. What's your message now to administrators?
We could have just delayed opening like many other schools in many other counties because most of them I've heard from friends that are opening on September 8th or around that time. So we could have delayed school so they could
She's gonna work for a blog.
find more safety measures to follow.
Wait. Hold on, Owen. So, okay, I get the whole point of like her posting the photo, blah, blah, all that stuff. But why would you interview a 15-year-old on when a school should open? Like, do you think she knows the whole?
Because it went viral. That's
I know.
it. It just
Do you
because
think her parents gave her a script though?
I think that
I don't think they gave her a script,
no.
but to answer your question, Blair, I mean, it's because it went viral. It went viral, so CNN's like, hey, we want to interview you because that's the hot topic right now.
Get some viewers.
What do you think about when the school should open? It's like, well, because I've looked at the entire school system and how it breaks down, we have September to. It's like, okay, really? Like,
yeah.
Well, I heard from some of my friends that other schools are delaying it,
total
so I don't know
hearsay.
why. It's like,
Right, and not to back on this girl because she's gonna say something fucked up in a moment. Well, that happened to her, but in my mind, I'm like, oh, what do you mean delay opening? What is that gonna change? When I think, so I kind of
The
play.
vaccine's not gonna be completed by then.
Right, I look at both sides when people are like, don't open the schools. Oh my god, like. Okay, so what do you guys want us to do? Do you want us to just stay like homeschool like forever or until the vaccine comes? Like the vaccine is going to take a while. Like let's say the vaccine comes out. Is it going to be free? You know, people who have insurance probably will get covered and have it get paid for.
It's gonna be a clusterfuck.
Yeah, it's going to be a clusterfuck. Like I said, there's going to be people who refuse to take a vaccine. There's already people who are anti-vax who don't vaccinate their children because they think it causes autism and the government's, turning the frogs gay, so they all, and so that's one of my mind. I'm like, yo, we could have delayed it to September 8th. I'm like, what fucking difference does that make? Nothing. We would have reached September 8th, and you would have been like, oh no, my God, we can't open. Like, we have to stay closed.
There's no.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I'm not bagging on this girl. I've never used that term at all ever in my life. But, I'm trying to be cool. I'm more bagging on CNN.
Right.
Like, it should have been like, you posted this photo, like, what were your thoughts going on when you were in that blah, 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 like, things that are, like, relevant to her viewpoint. And then maybe interviewed some school administrators of, like, do you think that the school should have reopened? Like, what do you, like, more...
It was just a dumb question. It's like, what do you think... 15-year-old, we should handle the situation.
Yeah.
You took a video that went viral on the internets.
So
tell us
the situation in Iraq. How do you think we should have handled it? Like, really?
I see what you're saying.
Like, why are you asking her that question? You could ask her about her viewpoint on
That's fucking dumb.
as a 15-year-old. Like, how did you feel about it? What did it make you feel uncomfortable?
Right.
That's just CNN, man.
That's a joke.
Hey, yeah, CNN is fucking piece of shit. So they have a socialist agenda.
They could have found more plans for all the students and teachers and staff members, but they kind of just sent us into school and used us as guinea pigs to see what would happen later on.
Are you concerned at all that now that you've posted this, you're on national news, that maybe teachers and other students might look at you as a troublemaker, as somebody who is out to start a ruckus?
Yeah, look at this fucking troublemaker.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of teachers have my back because they know how dangerous it is going to school, but I know that a lot of the kids I go to school with, I've already gotten backlash for it. I've gotten threats and things like that, but I know that I'm doing the right thing and it's not going to stop me from continuing doing it, but it is concerning, especially since it's a lot of the people I go to school with, people I've known for years now, that are threatening me now.
Hannah, if you don't mind, tell me about these threats. What are people saying?
There's a group chat that a lot of people, that the senior class in North Paulding has, and I think almost all the seniors are in it, and a lot of them have been screenshotting things and sending them to either my family or some of my friends, and they sent it to us, and some of the things are like, we're gonna jump every girl named Hannah in the 10th grade, or...
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
At that point, it's like, all right, come on. Yeah. And that's just, unfortunately, why, the things that happen when something goes viral and you have you're going to have every, piece of shit, troll come out and, say stuff like that. And, yeah. So.
Yeah, that's why guns should be everywhere.
Right. That's why teachers should be armed. Yeah.
She should go to school strapped.
Yeah.
Someone tries to jump her, be like,
Yeah, like in
I got
Chirac.
my Glock 19, bro. Is that what the point you were trying to make?
What?
Guns everywhere?
You got guns everywhere, blazing.
No, I wasn't trying to make that
Oh,
point.
I thought you were, that's where you're going.
No. Like I don't know. Well, there is that fucking, and we can cover that one day where it's like because of all the school shooters and incels and shit. They're becoming school shooters and they're trying
Soy
to
boys.
the soy boys. Yeah, they're trying to mitigate that problem, and they're like, oh, there's some schools where like the teachers are armed and they teach the kids where it's like if there's a school shooter, they have drills now where they like all line up against the door and push against it and have like these bulletproof like little
Oh,
thing.
wow.
Yeah, it's like serious. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they get that whole political debate like, oh my God, why are we teaching kids to think about this? And it's like,
Well, you have to because
This is
it's
the
the
thing.
reality of things, unfortunately.
isn't it crazy? Speaking of school shootings, isn't it crazy how, like, I remember like when the first big school shooting, it was in 1999. It was like
Columbine?
yeah, Columbine. It was
Colorado.
in Colorado. Like I was like super into it. Like obviously like in 1999, I was like what 7 years old. It was like a couple years later when the internet came out.
Oh, you're
I like.
old.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I guess I'm old. I was like 7 years old. Yeah, I'm old. When it came out, when the internet came out, I would watch like weird documentaries, and they had like documentaries that showed
Yeah.
like their lives, why they did it, and they were blaming like Marilyn Manson apparently.
I remember watching that shit.
Yeah,
It was,
and,
like films, like docu-films.
Yeah, they had like documentaries like why is this happening? They like studied like psychology of them, and it's a pretty interesting story how like it was such a fascinating thing. But now it's like we haven't had one in a while, thank God. But and the schools are fucking closed. But
The last one was in Connecticut, right? With that psycho that killed the toddlers.
that was
Wasn't that the
in
last one?
something
Stony. What is it?
No. Remember, it was the other one. It was in 2017.
That was the last one?
No, yeah, that was the last one in Florida. It was in Florida. Remember?
Wow.
Oh, the one like in Broward County.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was in Florida. Yeah, and then like all the kids were like, "Oh my
I
God."
remember that.
Yeah.
That was the last one.
Yeah, that was the big one where it's like a huge story. And it did kind of piss me off when it's the same thing you're saying where it's like the kids who survived all of a sudden became like spokespeople for like, what should we do, kids? I know you saw your friend die, and because of that, we need to listen to you. Like, yeah. But the point I was trying to make, it's like it is kind of crazy how we have become like desensitized to like the shootings and stuff, and that's how like it's what you're saying. It's like there's that argument. It's like, should we be teaching kids like, yeah, you got to be ready for school
This
shooting?
is America. I mean, that's just part of it. We're a violent country. We've always have.
Damn.
Wow.
It's the
Fuck.
reality of things. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's just like, okay, you're gonna, like, if you look at I don't know, there's so many stats and stuff that it's like, okay, if you look at in England, violent crimes, now knifings are up, like, by so much.
They still have violence,
Right.
and
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
still like mass fucking, like in China they had that mass stabbing or
in
whatever.
Germany, they had people running over people with buses.
Jews.
And, like, no, it's just like, there's gonna be somebody finding a way to.
But it's easier to. I feel like it's easier to stop somebody with a knife than a gun, though.
I feel like it's easier to stop somebody with a gun if you have a gun.
If you have a gun,
If you
yeah.
have a gun.
Then,
yeah.
like, there's all these stories about, like, there was a mass shooter, but you don't hear them because it doesn't turn into a mass shooting because somebody will go into a movie theater and try to commit a mass shooting. The person in the movie theater will be like, oh, holy shit, start shooting at him, and the person, like, books it.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
yeah.
is true. Like places that
You
have
don't hear about that.
Yeah, it's places that have like super lax gun laws. Everyone is carrying guns, and there's less violence. Like you go to like these super like conservative like Texas. Texas. There was that
Yeah,
shooting
carry.
there was that shooting in the church where the dude started just unloading in the church, and then like fucking grandmas and like elderly. Yeah, it's like literally white afro hair grandmas, like those puffy cotton ball grandmas, literally was like looking at what's happened and had fucking strapped, and like they all shot him, and no one died. No one died. I think one person got hurt, one person got shot. But imagine it's like, oh yeah, we're a gun-free zone, and we don't
Look
believe
at
in
Chicago, super strict gun laws.
yeah.
Tons of crime.
I've talked about this.
Yeah.
I've had literally debates with people on my channel.
The more strict, you're just saying the more strict the laws. The
Yeah,
more,
because the only people that are not going to have guns if you have gun laws are criminals because they
Exactly.
don't give a fuck about the gun laws.
Yeah.
So
I know. I've had debates on my channel where people are like, no, we need to get rid of the guns. That's why it's so violent. And I'm like, dude, I'm from Brazil. Brazil is fucking violent as fuck.
Yeah.
And we're trying to get the gun laws the way it is in America. And that's going to help. Because what happens? In Brazil, it's so hard to get a gun. You have to go through all these things. You basically have to have some sort of career in like law enforcement, military, some shit where some kind of piss poor excuse where you have a gun. Like not anyone can get a gun. So what happens? The fucking gangsters, the fucking favela kids on the streets who are part of gangs, they have like fucking AK-47s and these big fucking guns because they don't give a fuck about the laws, because the law punishes the citizens. If a cop pulls you over or they search your house and it's like, oh, you have a gun, we're gonna fine you, you're gonna go to jail. They put people in jail for having guns. That's not that's not creating a country with peace. That's not creating a country where less people are dying. No, actually, more people are dying. Why? Because the criminals all have the guns and they don't give a shit about the laws. So yeah, little mini rant on guns there.
but back to this girl's
This girl, the 15-year-old expert.
view on
Yeah, it is kind of just fucked up how she's getting bullied. So let's just see
She
what.
kind of looks like that sloth
Hannah's gonna
thing
have a
from
rough day at
Ice Age.
school.
Jesus Christ.
Sid?
what?
Sid from Ice
He
Age.
said she looks like the.
Sid from
Oh
Ice Age.
wow.
I'm not gonna comment on her fucking looks.
Oh, come on.
People on Monday, or someone even said, I know where this girl lives because he lives in my neighborhood. So just they're not entirely like something to worry about, but we do try to take them seriously.
But it's still, I mean, that's saying you know where somebody lives in that manner. There's an insinuation there. Why do you think that is? I mean, when I was in high school, if somebody did something that gave you days off from school, usually they were congratulated. But these kids are angry at you.
I feel like a lot of it comes from the seniors, which is understandable because last year, our seniors last semester, a lot of their senior year was taken away from them.
I see.
But it's happening again this year, so hopefully it doesn't. I don't want it to. I've never wanted it to, but they think it is, and they are trying to blame it on me, which I don't make the final decision at county office. I'm just trying to keep everyone safe.
Yeah. And
Well, so we'll move on. I do see the point that she's saying, because a lot of people on the internet, when I first saw the story, are like, why are these kids complaining? They don't have to go to school. Yeah, but if you're a senior, like I know a girl who was a senior, and it's like it was so lame how they couldn't go to school, like they couldn't go to prom. They
Right,
literally
right,
just
right.
they literally just got dressed up and like took pictures outside of the gym, and like it was all just. It was,
Yeah, it kind of ruins that experience
It
of
ruined-
the last year of high school.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like an experience, a cool thing for kids and everything. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with the whole fucking pandemic.